Hello, everyone, and welcome to Navigate Autism's Traveling Podtips. I'm Lynn Britton of Navigate Autism, and right now I am coming to you from my backyard where I like to come to kind of put me in that present mode, which is what we're talking about today. And you may hear the birds chirping because it is spring and it is really nice and inspirational out here. But I come out here as one of the things I do to, like I said, bring myself to the present moment. And a quick way I do that is I touch something or smell something or think or say something that I'm doing. So I might touch a tree, or I will smell a flower. I will think or say, I am walking outside, I am touching a tree, or I am planting a seed. And that really brings our minds to what we are doing right this second. And the reason that's important is because when we're in the present moment, that is when we can connect most deeply with our children. And for lots of reasons. One is because they know when we're not present. They can sense it. They know when we're distracted and when we're thinking of the laundry or a project or a phone call or what we just said to someone else, whether it was good or we perceive it as bad. And so they know when we're distracted. And they also know when we're not distracted. So play around with that and watch how your children respond. For example, William, my son, when I'm distracted, that's when he doesn't look at me. He doesn't interact with me. He doesn't listen. He puts his hands over his ears very often. And he often actually puts his hands up to me and says, bye. He doesn't have a huge vocabulary, but that is one word he knows well, bye. And on the opposite side, when I'm present, he is looking. He is trying to talk more. He's listening. He is actually engaging and laughing and smiling. And he doesn't put his hands over his ears as much. And he doesn't walk away from me as much. Those things do happen because our kids need time away. They need time to process what they're doing, what's happening, or there may be another stimulus. But the first thing I always look at, if I'm not able to connect with William, if he's not listening, I look to see, am I present? And most of the time I'm not, because as a busy parent, I have so many things that I'm juggling, and all those things are on my mind, and I'm distracted by them. When we're not present, not only are we thinking of all those things, but we're also thinking about what we just said or what decisions we just made or something we might have regretted or still regret or think we should have done differently. And we go into this place of kind of discomfort and unhappiness. Or we could be in the future thinking, oh gosh, what could happen? What might happen? And we start to maybe go into a place of fear. And those are things that we don't want to do. It doesn't feel good. And it takes us away from really connecting with our children. So one of the ways I do get myself back into the present, like I said, I come outside and doing those quick things, touching, smelling, kind of talking to myself, narrating what I'm doing, that helps me, but it also brings me away from all the distractions in my house, around my family, with the phones, with my computers, and gives me a clean kind of break to allow myself to be in the present. If I'm inside my house, I may take a few breaths. I will, if my son puts his hands over his ears or says bye, I'll walk away for a few minutes and take some deep breaths. Start even listening to some soft music. And one of the things I love music. I love to sing. And so I might sing a little song, and it's usually the same song just to kind of get those words in my mind. And it brings me back to the present. And guess what happens? I walk back in to the room with my son, and he knows it's me, that I'm there fully and present. And he looks at me and he smiles and engages. And we start to have this great interaction. So in creating those great interactions are important because we want that feeling. We want that sweet spot with our children. But it's also the time that we can help them learn and grow. That's when they're available. That's when they're connected. And a lot of what I'm talking about in these pod tips are how to help them, how to help ourselves, and how to help them learn, and grow. And really, one of the foundational elements is us being present. Another thing I'm going to share, which is really, really cool, is when you're present, notice how everyone else around you responds. It will actually positively impact your family, your friends, your interactions with your family and your friends, even your colleagues. So this is really a great life tool that you can start to develop more and more, but definitely it will help you enjoy more of those great interactions with your child and help them start to move along that journey that we hope for all of our kids towards reaching their potential. So have fun with that, like play around with it, really observe and watch and see how that works for you. And continue to listen to these pod tips because I'm going to be sharing how you can build on being in the present moment. Take care, and I look forward to talking to you really soon.